Hey everyone, welcome to another video by Optionables. My name is Saket, and today in this video we are going to look at what happened to the markets, what we can expect from the markets tomorrow. So tomorrow is also an expiry day, and finally we are also going to look at what happened to our trade. So before we move on, there is something which I want to tell you, that is now onwards we'll be coming out with short videos. So that is under 1 minute, we will try to cover the market summary, the market outlook, and also what happened to our trade. So we won't be discussing in detail, we'll just be giving you a brief. But if you want to know in detail, watch our regular videos which we post every day. So that is just for a short summary. So now we'll be quickly moving on and looking at what happened to the markets. So the opening for Nifty was more or less flat. It opened around 17,050 itself. And later, slowly around 10 o'clock, we saw some sell-off come in the market. So from 17,050, it started sliding towards 17,000. So 17,000 is a very good support for the market, but the market actually didn't take support at 17,000. Very quickly, support of 17,000 was also broken and the market started heading further down. So it came towards 16,950 and 16,900. And again, it was hardly an hour, even 16,900 was completely shattered. So market broke well below 16,900 and started heading towards 16,800. So the thing is, apart from this, we also had an announcement from RBI governor at 2 p.m. So this news came in the morning itself. So don't know why exactly this was the case. So if you actually look at the theory, technically, we retailers are the last people to get the information. So the moment it was announced that RBI is going to have an announcement at 2 p.m., we actually started to see the selling. So I will leave it up to you to interpret what exactly I mean from this. And also next, moving on. So at 2 p.m., RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das came and announced that he is going to hike the repo rates by 40 basis points. So this is a huge jump because it came as a surprise. Maybe if he had done the same thing on the RBI policy date itself, market might have reacted differently, but this was a surprise announcement and markets do not like surprises. So if they had already expected some kind of a rate hike, then that would be different, but this was a total surprise and the markets didn't like it at all. First of all, hiking the repo rate itself is a bad news for the market, and that too this came as a surprise. So we saw that markets were beaten down very badly after that. So Nifty broke 16,800, which was a very crucial support for Nifty for a very long time. So that support was broken. It came towards 16,700. 16,700 was broken and it almost ended at the day's low. So if you actually look at it, markets fell close to 400 points from the previous day. And especially when rate is getting hiked, the rate sensitive stocks, that is mainly financial stocks, do not take it well at all. So immediately after we got the rate hike news, we saw some huge selling in Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, and many of the banking stocks. So the banking stocks, which were quite resilient in the morning, so when you actually look at it with Nifty, so they were holding out quite well in the morning. But immediately after this rate hike announcement, Bank Nifty fell almost close to 1,000 points. So there was one more news by Kotak. So the Kotak results were really good. Kotak was up by 2% before this announcement came in, and after the announcement came in, Kotak almost closed flat, and the results were well above expectation. So this way we almost ended at the day's low, and the only gainers we had was very stock specific, so that it was not even sector specific. Britannia, mainly because of its good results, it was up today. Apart from that, we also had ONGC, which ended up gaining, but there was no heavyweight in the list which actually supported Nifty. So luckily Infosys didn't fall much. So Infosys also holds a very strong or very high weightage in Nifty. If Infosys also had fallen, we could have easily expected another 60 to 70 points fall in Nifty. When we actually look at the overall market breadth also, out of around 2,000 actively traded stocks in Nifty, close to 1,600 ended in red. So that means there is clear sign of bearishness. And also it is no surprise that FIIs and DIIs might also have sold today, but FIIs for sure would have sold some stocks today. So the figure might be well over 3,000 crores. That is something which we have to wait and see. So next we'll be quickly jumping in to the screen recording and we'll see what is the outlook for tomorrow, which is an expiry day, and finally what happened to our trade. So in today's trade, since we also had a 1,000 quantity of Nifty future short, we ended up gaining around 8.5 lakh, and I will be also telling you how exactly we managed the positions today, what were the trades we took, and how we ended the trade. So today was a pretty good trading day. So in the past 2 days itself, we made around 12 lakh. So this more or less helped us recover the losses what we had over past 2 weeks. So with that, we'll be quickly moving on to the screen recording now. Meanwhile, if you are liking the content on this channel, do not forget to hit the like button, share this video, as well as subscribe to Optionables, and also do let us know in the comment section how your trading went. And one more thing before I close this video is that there is something really special coming up on 30th of May. So don't forget to check that out. Thank you so much for joining. Hey everyone, welcome to the video. So first we'll be starting off by looking at the market outlook for tomorrow, which is an expiry day, and later we'll be moving towards understanding what trades we took today. So this is the summary of the trade what we took today, and you can see that overall we ended with a profit of close to 8.4 lakh. So we'll discuss more about that later. First we'll move on and quickly look at the charts and open interest data to see where exactly the markets can be headed tomorrow. So when we actually look at the Nifty daily chart, we do observe a sort of head and shoulder pattern which is being formed here. So we can see this is more or less like a left shoulder, this is the head, and here we have the right shoulder. Something which is more important than this is this particular candle. This is one big red candle, that too with a full body. The significance of this candle is that it has broken the most crucial support for Nifty, that is 16,800. So what we do have to check here is whether this has come with some good volumes or not. So we'll just open Nifty future chart, and we will just add a volume here, and we can see right over here that the volume is very high. So maybe even when we come to 30 minutes chart, what we get to see, especially during this particular sell-off, we do see very big volume candles on futures. That means there is some aggressive selling which is happening in Nifty futures. Clearly the trend is bearish. So that means where do we find the next support coming in? So obviously the closest support, as we can see on the charts right over here, is 16,500. So this should act as an immediate support for Nifty. We will have to see if Nifty can actually hold 16,500 or not. If not, then the next support which will be coming in is at 16,000. But what we are more focused on is about the tomorrow's expiry trade, for which we can also take some data from the open interest side and see what exactly open interest is suggesting. And today, as we can see, this was more or less quite obvious that people started unwinding all their put option short at higher levels and started shorting call options aggressively. So this is a clear sign of bearishness, because if I am shorting put options, I would want to close it because I will start to lose money as the market starts to fall. So the option sellers have closed a lot of put options and they have shorted some call options aggressively. So they are shorting so many call options because they have a feeling that the market might not go up, or the upside to the market is limited. So when we look at the overall open interest, so the first thing what we are going to look at is total number of calls and total number of puts. Clearly people have sold more number of calls compared to puts, and this is again a clear sign of bearishness. So yesterday also we had told that 16,800 should act as a very strong support, but today it has broken that support. That means obviously 16,800 on the higher side will act as a very strong resistance now. So all this while 16,800 was a support. Since it has broken 16,800, now 16,800 will be a resistance. And for the short term, since at least there is some activity of put at 16,500, so hopefully this will turn out to be some sort of a support for tomorrow. If not, we can definitely be ready for some more downside. I am slightly bearish on the market, and if 16,500 is broken, we can easily head towards 16,300. So one thing what we should hope for is about some positive news coming in from Fed, because we also have the FOMC meet today. So if there is some positive news, then that might cheer up the market. Otherwise, right now the sentiment is definitely bearish. So now when we actually look at Bank Nifty, we also do see something similar on the chart, that it has broken its very crucial support of 35,500. So again, coming to Bank Nifty, 35,000 right over here should act or provide some sort of a support, and 35,500, as we had discussed, was a very strong support. And once 35,500 is broken, that means this same level will act as a good resistance right now. So the range I am expecting for Bank Nifty based on the charts is 35,000 to 35,500. So this is the range I am expecting for tomorrow. And again, here I am slightly bearish on the market. So the thing is, there are very less triggers for the upside, but for the downside there are a lot of triggers. Unless, again I'm repeating and laying special emphasis on this, unless there is some positive news coming in from US, we might not see a huge buying coming tomorrow, because today RBI has increased the rate, and that's the reason the sentiments are going to stay for some time. So again, it's quite clear that there are lot many calls compared to puts. So the ratio is around 0.4. That means 37 million calls compared to 16 million puts. So the trend is obviously pretty bearish. So now when we look at the individual strikes, there is a lot of call writing at 36,000. So this clearly suggests that the upside beyond 36,000 seems to be slight or pretty slim for Bank Nifty. That means Bank Nifty crossing 36,000 tomorrow on the higher side seems to be very low. But on the lower side, we also have some put writing at 35,000. So this is also suggesting that the markets might find some support at 35,000. But the thing is, when we look at the overall sentiment here, we do find that the market sentiment is much bearish compared to bullish. So that's the reason it is pretty good if we can track the open interest dynamically, because open interest is something which updates every 3 minutes. So we will get to know whether people are closing the puts or adding more puts, or whether closing the calls or adding more calls, and we can start adjusting our positions accordingly. So this will bring us on to the last part of the video, that is what happened to our trade. So today was a very good trading session where we ended up making close to 8.4 lakh. So the thing is, as I had told you, we were short on futures because I was expecting Nifty to be slightly bearish, and this future trade actually ended up giving us close to 3,67,000. So out of this 8 lakh, we got around 3 lakh from the futures trade. And apart from that, I had also told you that we had a 17,500 short straddle calendar as a hedge. So that is something again which is really important to make a note of. So let me just open these positions alone. So right over here is the short straddle at 17,500, and when we look at the M2M, so we can see that from this particular short straddle we have a loss of 3,50,000. So 3.5 lakh is our loss, and this is the calendar, and from calendar we have a profit of 2.1 lakh. From this particular trade, we have a loss of 1.4 lakh. But the thing is, here we also have futures, which was the main part, and this actually helped us gain close to 3,70,000. So if we remove these and only talk about the intraday trades, so let me just do that quickly. So this is our intraday trades alone, where we ended up making close to 6 lakh from intraday. And the logics were fairly simple. Morning we started with a short straddle, and the entries for the short straddle are at 9:30 a.m., 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. So we entered the short straddle, and as the market was just sliding down, the PE leg started to trigger the stop loss. So morning 9:30 the PE leg triggered, again 11:30 the PE leg triggered, again 1:30 the PE leg triggered. While that happened, we also noticed few things. One, it was a news based event. That means obviously the sentiment is going to be much stronger, the volumes are going to be much higher, and second of all, markets also broke crucial levels of support, and that's the reason we were much more bearish on the market. That's the reason we ended up shorting additional call options on our own. So not just the call option what we had entered normally, but we also started shorting some additional call options on our own because we were bearish on the market. And that's the reason overall with intraday, we were able to end with a profit of 6 lakh. So when we combine the positional future trade along with intraday, so overall we ended the day with close to 8.4 lakh. And that is for the trade today. And tomorrow we aren't carrying any positions apart from futures. Futures, maybe once it crosses 16,800, we'll be squaring it up. So till then, we'll continue to hold futures, and we will also continue to hold the calendar. So tomorrow we'll be shifting from 5th May calendar to 12th May calendar. So with this, we also come to the end of this video, and I hope that you guys found this video useful and also insightful. In that case, please do let us know in the comment section, and also don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to Optionables. Thank you so much for joining.